Now we consider the third chapter, circle and basics for 3.2 and 3.3. Now see these two circles with center O and center P. These are called externally touching circles. They touch each other, these two circles touch each other externally, and therefore they are called as externally touching circles. Now see, line L is the common tangent to both the circles. Line L is the common tangent to both the circle. That means line L is tangent to this bigger circle. Also line L is tangent to the smaller circle. This point A is called, we know that this is called as point of contact. Point A is called point of contact. Now, if two circles touch each other, their point of contact and the centers are collinear. See here, these two circles touch each other externally. A is the point of contact and O and P are their centers. Then these 3 points are collinear. The point of contact of two circles and their centers. The point of contact of two circles and their centers. These 3 points are collinear, or these 3 points lie on the same line. Now, suppose we want to find the distance between their centers. Suppose we want to find the distance between their centers. For externally touching circles, the distance between their centers equal to, see, we want to find OP distance. Now suppose, now we know that OA is the radius of the bigger circle, so it is R1. AP is the radius of the smaller circle, say it is R2. Then we have to find OP, distance OP. How can we find OP? It is OA plus AP. That means it is R1 plus R2. If two circles touch each other externally, the distance between their centers is R1 plus R2. That means the sum of their radii. Now see the next figure. See here, these are again two circles. Circle P with center P is a smaller circle, and circle having center O is a bigger circle. Smaller circle touch the bigger circle internally. Smaller circle touch the bigger circle internally. Therefore, these are called as internally touching circles. Again, line L is the common tangent to both the circle. Line L is the common tangent to both the circles, and point A is here again point of contact. That means line L touches the smaller circle, point of contact is A. Also it touches the bigger circle, point of contact is A. Here again, the point of contact and the centers of two circles, these 3 points are collinear. These 3 points are collinear. Now suppose we want to find distance between their centers. If the two circles touch each other internally, then what is the distance between their centers? Now we have to find the distance OP. Now see here, OA is the radius of the bigger circle. Suppose it is R1. OA is the radius of the bigger circle. Suppose it is R1. And PA is the radius of the smaller circle. Suppose it is R2. Then how can we find OP? OP is nothing but OA minus PA. OP is nothing but OA minus PA. That means OA means radius of bigger circle minus PA means radius of smaller circle. That means it is the how to find the distance between the centers if the circles are internally touching. The formula is R1 minus R2. Now the bigger radius take as R1 always, and the smaller one we will take as R2. Then the formula will be R1 minus R2. Now see this figure. Here O is the center of the circle, and on circle there are 4 points A, X, B and Y. Now see arc AXB, this one, arc AXB is smaller in size, therefore it is called as a minor arc. And arc AYB, this one, arc AYB is bigger in size, and therefore it is called as a major arc. Now if we join this point A and B to the center, see, if we join this point A and B to the center, then angle AOB, this one, angle AOB is called as central angle. Angle AOB is called central angle. And remember this, we have learned in previous standard, measure of minor arc equal to the measure of central angle. Measure of arc AXB equal to measure of angle AOB, means these two measures are same. If the measure of arc AXB is 30 degree, then measure of angle AOB is also 30 degree. Or conversely, if angle AOB is of 80 degree, then measure of arc AXB is also 80 degree. Now see this second figure. Here line, suppose this is line L, it is the secant, it touches the circle in 2 points A and B, therefore we called it as secant. Now see, this line L passes through the center of the circle. Therefore this arc AXB and arc AYB are of equal measures. We can see this, since this line L passes through the center, these two arcs, this one arc AXB and the upper one arc AYB, they are looking in same size and they are called as semicircular arcs. Arc AXB and arc AYB, they are called as semicircular arcs. Now see, measure of complete circle, we know that it is how much? 360 degree. Measure of complete circle is 360 degree. Therefore, what is the measure of semicircular arc? Measure of this arc is 180. Also measure of this arc is 180. Therefore, measure of semicircular arcs are 180 degree. Now see third figure. Here O is the center of the circle and AB and CD are the two chords of the circle. Now this theorem we will use in solving the problem, and also its converse we use in solving the problem. What is the theorem? In a circle or in a congruent circle, that means instead of taking one circle, if we can take also two congruent circle, then in that also this theorem is true. What is this? In a circle, in a given circle, if two arcs are congruent, suppose if these two arcs are congruent, arc AXB is congruent to arc CYD. In a circle, if two arcs are congruent, their corresponding chords are also congruent. What is the theorem? if in a circle or in a congruent circles. You may take two congruent circles also. In that also this theorem is true. If in a circle two arcs are congruent, their corresponding chords are also congruent. And conversely, what is the converse? In a circle, if two chords are congruent, if these two chords are congruent, then we can say that their corresponding arcs are also congruent. What is the theorem? If in a circle two arcs are congruent, their corresponding chords are also congruent. Conversely, if in a circle or in a congruent circles, two chords are congruent, their corresponding arcs are also congruent.